Hello, this is Deb Joyce Meek from Delight of My Art. Today we are doing our Sweet and Simple card class for December. This one I'm calling Celebrate Your Day because we're doing a bunch of birthdays. So we'll have two of each card here, and we've got a sweet little pink cupcake. We've got a nice blue happy birthday with stars, and we've got this cool pretty peacock one with kind of a peek through window here. So let's go ahead and put these together. Thank you so much for watching, and if you could share the video and follow me here, that would be great. And you can join my email list in the description below. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. All right, again, we've got our three different cards. We'll go ahead and start with the pink one here and then move on to the blue one and finally the pretty peacock. But I do want to go over the items that I am using. You can use any stamps and inks that you have. However, I'll show you what I am using. So if you'd like to follow along, you can use the same things. The first stamp set I'm using is called Circle Sayings. And we are using the cupcake here with the Celebrate. And we will also be using the Biggest Wish stamp set that says Happy Birthday. So we've got the little, I think we've got the little, let's see, we've got the big happy and the littler birthday here. So those layer together so nicely. You actually have happy and birthday in both the thicker and thinner. I love this set. We also have a Christmas one if you want to check that out. And we are also using this Irresistible Blooms. This is one that is in our online exclusives, and it's got beautiful matching paper. So we'll be using a little bit of that. So we have our cute little leaf here, some of the splashy here, and a hooray, it's your day. So let's go ahead and get started. One other note, I am also using one little star from this set. If you happen to have a star or anything, this is just for the envelope and the inside. So I'm using this little star here, but whatever star extra stamp that you might have. Also, the inks that we're using today are black Memento because we'll be using our blends. And I have these colors here, Berry Burst and Bubble Bath, Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, and Pretty Peacock. And we'll also be using a couple blends, the Bubble Bath, the Light Lemon Lolly, and the Light Smoky Slate. And maybe we'll touch it with the Color Lifter here. I'm also going to be using Wink of Stella because Wink of Stella is fun. And we're going to be using our blending brush with the Bubble Bath. So that is a rundown of all of the supplies that we'll be using. Let's go ahead and get started. So if you order the kit here, you can follow along for free, or you can place an order with me and get the kit for free if your order is over $35 in my online order form, which is orderwithdeb.com. You can browse the supplies on stampinup.com and then enter the item numbers in the order form. This is through Thursday the 21st, so December 21. You can place an order in there and get this for free, or you can place an order for it for $30. You can Venmo me at Deb-Smeek, S-M-E-A-K, and then you'd get this sent to your door. So again, the deadline for getting this class to you is the 21st. And I also am doing the live version on the 21st here in Williamston, Michigan. All right, so in your kit, if you have the kit here, we will have these items, and I'm going to take my ruler out just to make sure I've got the measurements for you right. This is a Bubble Bath base. It's the regular size, opening on the right here, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we have a piece of white that is 3 1/4 wide by 4.5 tall. This is actually going to go on the inside, and on the front is the same exact size, but this one has been embossed with the painted texture embossing folder. It kind of looks like paint or icing on a cupcake. So I thought that was a fun one. Look at the depth on that. It's really a cool embossing folder. So that will go layered on this piece. And this one is, let's see, what is this one? It's our beautiful Berry Burst, and this is just 1/8 of an inch wider. So this one is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. So just a thin border on that one. And then we have a stitched circle. This is our second biggest stitched circle in our, let's see, I should have looked up the names of all of these. Sorry, just a minute. I'll get my die set out here. Here it is. It's the Stylish Shapes. And so it's the second biggest one. I'm using this size like all the time. But I love this whole set. This all comes together in one set. So you've got 4 banners and six circles and 5 squares. And they're all stitched inside and outside of the lines. A great basic die set for all sorts of labels. So again, that was that second biggest one in the Berry Burst. And then I punched a circle with the, it's a 2 3/8, yes, 2 3/8 inch circle in white. And then we have a piece of the beautiful iridescent ribbon, and that is about 10 inches or so. It's just enough to kind of loop behind our piece here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So on our little circle here, we are going to stamp with Berry Burst and Memento. Let's go ahead and start with the Berry Burst because we want to do that circle part first. This will be our Celebrate image. This has Celebrate with little dots all the way around. And so I'll try to center that in my circle. With a circle, there's no up or down until you've stamped your image. So now, once I've stamped this, I do want to position one of those Celebrates so that it is facing up. So when I do my cupcake, we have Celebrate right at the top of that. The nice thing is that these are photopolymer and you can see right through the stamp to position that just perfectly. All right. And now we can color with blends. If you haven't colored with blends, this is one of my favorite things. Here, I'm going to scoot in just a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. So we'll position the lights a little bit better. Okay, so we've got our blends here. I'm going to start with this light lemon lolly, and we want a yellow cake. So we're just going to, I like to use the thick side, but you can use the thin side if it makes you a little bit nervous. The thing you need to remember with blends is you do want to use the Memento black ink, because if you use Stays On, your black lines will smear, and the Memento with the blends does not smear. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is when you're coloring, remember that you will have a little bit of extra bleed as you're coloring. So when you get up to a line, try to stay away from the edge of the line just the tiniest bit, because you know, I equate it to here in Michigan when we're driving in the icy weather. When you step on the brakes, you will skid a little bit further than where you stopped. So this is like a little ice rink of a marker. So if you just stop just shy of the line, it will just finish that for you. So I'm going to color some pink icing on there. I'm going to take my dark one now, and I'm going to just kind of line the bottom edges of all of those loops. So right here like this, real thin lines there, like that. And then I'll go ahead and back with my light one and blend that line that we just did with the rest of it. So it's a real smooth color. Let me show you here. Can you see the darkness on the bottom? It's pretty subtle. If you want to add more depth on there, you can always go back. This is a layering marker, so you can add more and more layers as it dries, which is really cool. You can even add layers with the same color, such as this light one here. I can add some shadows. Now that that one has dried, I can add a little bit more and add some depth. Now this is going to be fun. The smoky slate here, this is the light one. We're going to make the cupcake liner look like it's made of reflecting foil, but we don't want to color the whole thing in. We want to leave a bunch of white. So my trick is to just take the larger side and just kind of in the center there, kind of zigzag scribble up and down. So we're just going to like that. And now it looks like it's a reflective foil wrapper. Isn't that fun? Because something that's reflecting has a bunch of light or white places on it. So that's a fun, simple way to do that. If you want to lighten any of your icing, you can take the color lifter and maybe run it along the top. This is not necessary, but if you want to have a little bit more light spaces at the top, you can do that. All right, let's go ahead and glue this piece down to the berry burst here. I like to use liquid glue because it gives me that little wiggle room time before it holds tight. All right, so we've got that piece, and this one is going to go straight onto this backing. And in your kit, you have 2 of each card. So once you do your stamping on the one, you probably just want to do it on the second one at the same time. Now on this piece, we do want to take our bubble bath ink pad and our blending brush, and we're going to do some blending in the background on this embossed piece. So since we are covering up the center with this panel, generally when I say to use your blending brush, I'd say use it on scrap paper before applying it onto the paper, because the first brush is a little bit intense because it's coming straight from the ink pad. We're covering that part up. So start in that middle because it'll give you a harsh line, but then you'll smooth out from there. So smooth out in a nice big circle. You'll get that subtle color kind of catching on those edges of the embossed piece. And we'll probably want to do this a couple times. So again, it'll be pretty intense in the middle. We are covering that part up. Don't even worry about it. All right, so see, that's pretty dark, but look, when we cover it up, it's just a nice subtle pink coming from the background. Can you see that? So again, it's pretty dark in the middle. This is why if you're doing blending brushes and you want to keep the entire thing that you're blending, you probably want to start on some scrap paper and then go to your piece. So we're covering that center up, so that's okay. I'm actually going to add a little bit more because we want to. We'll just go a little bit further. Yeah. There, that's fun. And we want to use a wink of Stella on the cupcake icing. If you haven't used Wink of Stella, this is one thing that you definitely want to add to your next order because it is just sparkle in a marker. It is so much fun. Just adding that real quick. We've got all this sparkle in the icing there. You could add this to anything. It's just so much fun. When you get it, you actually have a little black line in the center here. You will have to remove that little black ring and then close it up again and then shake it. And then you'll have to advance the sparkles all in here. You'll have to squeeze. There's a little thing that says push right here. You'll have to squeeze it and you'll see it kind of enter this clear barrel here. You can see mine's already down there because it's not a new one, but you'll see the sparkle stuff enter here, and then you'll slowly squeeze it until it gets to the tip, and then it will start to come out. So you'll probably have to use it on some scrap paper just to start it, get it going, because they don't want it to leak as it's getting shipped to you. So it's definitely all sealed up as it's shipped to you, and then you'll just kind of advance that. But this has been sitting in my craft area for a long time. I've got I have a bunch of these on hand, so this has lasted for a while. Anyway, let's go ahead and put some seal on the back of this because we want to add this ribbon, this beautiful iridescent ribbon. I just like to run a little bit of adhesive on the back so that's sticky. And we're just going to kind of, we can reposition it too. That's why I like this glue for this kind of thing. Just want to kind of layer it like that. Now I'm going to add dimensionals. Is everybody ready for Christmas? I'm not doing any Christmas projects today because it's so close. It's less than a week away as I'm making this. So we are done doing Christmassy cards and everything. All right, so here I like to put a bunch of dimensionals on there so it's nice and supported. Take your backings off. I love our dimensionals. They're thinner than the ones that you'd get at like a box store. There's just a nice thin foam, so it just adds that perfect height. So you could actually even go double sometimes. All right, so now we're just gonna layer this right on top. Easy peasy. Since this is out, I'll just use this. Ooh. But I could use my liquid glue, which I would like to do because sometimes this can give you a little trouble. Sometimes yes and sometimes no. All right, so this just goes right on here. Now in your kit, I do not include embellishments. You can use whatever embellishments you want on here. If you are ordering to get this card class for free, you get it with a $35 order. If your order is over $50 though, I will send you a pack of embellishments. So I'm actually wondering if you're watching this, I would like to know, this whole kit set would look great with either the pastel adhesive back sequins, or this is actually another set of these, or this one that has the white and the pretty peacock and the pink. I'm actually leaning towards this one, but this one has the light blue and the light pink and some gold. So either one of these would work perfect. I'll probably send you a surprise. So either one of those would be really, really pretty. Let's just go ahead and use this one. We'll use pink on this one, and on my other sample, I don't have any of the little sparkle things. So I just wanted to show you that both of them look great and finished. And then on the envelope, we would just stamp a little cupcake to finish that off. You could also do that on the inside. Oops, this one has the inside. Where did our inside go? Oh, I didn't stamp it. Here it is. So that could be just another extra. I like you to decorate the inside and the envelope so that it's finished. When you put it away in your craft room, if you don't have a use for it right away, you will have it ready to be finished. In fact, why don't we do something fun here? Let's see if I have a piece of scrap paper. I'm just going to stamp off camera. I stamped that off on some scrap paper. And I'm just going to stamp this right in the middle. We'll see if that looks okay. So then we can write right over the top of that. It's just really light. So that will go right on the inside there. I'm going to grab my liquid glue this time. All right, and that will just go right in the center. Just like that. So there is card number 1. You get 2 of those. Moving on to our blue star card. So that one looks like this. Put that off to the side here. And we have 2 of the same size white. This is the same size as the pink one we just did, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. We have 2 of them, one for the inside and one for the front here. And again, same size as the Berry Burst here. We have this one as Misty Moonlight. And that is, again, 3 3/8. Let's make sure. When you get to eighths, I get a little confused. 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. Yes, same as the other one. And then this is a regular Night of Navy base, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. All of the bases are this same size this time. If you like fun folds, though, you'll have to join me on Wednesdays for my mystery stamping. We usually do mystery stamping every single Wednesday, except I am taking 2 weeks off for the holidays here, so we will be back doing mystery stamping on January 3rd. All right, so these can actually go right in here because I'm not doing any stamping on the white piece. We are just doing stamping on this one. I said sweet and simple, right? That's what this is. We'll just go ahead and add our inside piece here. I'll probably put some stars on this one to match the envelope. And I probably should have stamped that first, but I didn't. That's okay. So this is just going straight on this layer. And that's just going right on the card. Super easy. There's our card front there. Just like this. And let's go ahead and do our stamping on our circle here. Again, this is the same size stitch circle as the other one in our stylish shapes, that second biggest one. And now we're going to use Balmy Blue and Night of Navy to match our cardstock here. So the happy will be in the Balmy Blue. And I'm kind of going a little bit higher than centered on this one because we wanted to leave room for the birthday on there. In fact, I might have done the birthday first on the other one just so it fit lengthwise, but I think we'll be fine. Here is Night of Navy, and we're going to add birthday on there. And the I'm going to add this right about there. I want the little tails to, let's see. Yeah, I probably should have done the birthday one first. I'll have my people do birthday first, but it looks good. So we've got our happy birthday. Doesn't that look so cool layered together? And you could go the other way too and do the thinner birthday. Whatever you're doing though, what I would do is put the thicker one in a lighter color so that the thinner scripty one is darker and can sit right on top of any of those letters. You don't have to have them sit on top. You can have them next to each other or, you know, next to each other this way or left and right. But I love layering them right on top of each other because you can actually read both. I just think that looks so cool. All right, so actually I'm going to leave this blue out because I want to do this little tiny star. This is that little tiny star from the Days to Remember. And I'm going to do this on the inside here. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And that's what you do on the envelope too. You can see I did that on this envelope here. So I didn't re-ink it at all there. And now we'll go ahead and just start adhering things together. And you've got a little packet that you'll have all of these little stars in. So we'll go ahead and just add those with some liquid glue, and this will go on with dimensionals. So I'll grab my dimensionals here. When there's no ribbon on the back, I'll just put 3 on there. That should be sufficient. And we'll take our backing off. Got the camera really up close today, so I'm trying not to go off camera. I wanted to get real close for that coloring. All right, so here I'm going to go a little bit, again, north of center. I don't want to have it be even on the sides and the top. I want to give a little bit more on the top there. But I think that looks really good right like that. And then I'll go ahead and just copy my stars on this one because I like how those look. We've got a big, medium, and small star in both of the colors. And so I kind of wanted to stagger those so that they could kind of look like they're sprinkled across like this. You could line them up on the top and the bottom if you wanted to, or whatever you'd like to do. You can place those wherever you want because this is your card, but I'm just going to copy what I did over here because this is a video and you don't need to see me thinking about what other places would look good. So I'll just do what I think looks good because I already did it. I already did my thinking. All right, so we'll go ahead and add the big blue star. They're both blue. Navy one over here. And we've got this little one. So we've got big, medium, big, medium, and then the little ones will go at the bottom. And I kind of alternated the colors there. Kind of. I did add the navy ones on top of the circle because I thought they'd show better than the balmy blue because they're the same color. See, this little star wouldn't show up very well on top of there. All right, there's our last one. So that card is all set. Happy birthday. What a nice birthday card. And it is hard to find cards that are appropriate enough to give to the men in your life. So this one's not too frou-frou-y for a man or a teen to open. And it's still cool enough for girls to open too. I love blue. So I think this card is a great card for just about anybody. So there's card number 2. Oh, I wanted to add, so if we were using this sheet here, we'd use these white ones here. And let's just add some of those kind of sprinkled in with the stars that we already added here, just like that. There. So now we've got some sequins on there. And again, it looks finished without those as well. So they both look great. Let's move on to card number 3. And this one's going to be a fun one. This one has this little peek through window. So again, we need to use the 1 3/4 inch punch. And the reason I'm using that size is because it fits the saying that I have. So if you have a different saying that you're putting in there, go ahead and make sure that it will fit on there. And that will work for yours. Let's see. This is Pretty Peacock. Again, the base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we will be doing our punching first here. So just a moment. I'll show you all of the little pieces here. We have a piece of the DSP. This is 1 inch by 5.5 with the white leaves. And I cut out a flower for the front here. You'll have kind of one that has a little bit of a yellow tint and one that has more of a coral tint. So one of each in your packet. And then I cut out 3 leaves with the same die set that goes with this stamp set. Those are in Lost Lagoon. And we have a Lost Lagoon shimmer paper here. And this is 1/2 inch by 5.5. So let's go ahead and do some punching here with the circle. We're going to put it all the way up, but we do want to be able to see a little bit of the cardstock on the right. So if we were to line this up, it would be not quite even. So we want to see just about that much of the cardstock on the right. That looks pretty good. So then I'm trying to get it a little bit more even here and here. So we don't need this piece, but you can save it for another one. Now that we have this circle here, you can put your insert. I forgot to show you this insert. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. This will be going on the inside. Before you glue this down, maybe just tack it down with the Stampin' Seal. Oh, look, mine's dirty on the one side. So that just in case you have an oops, you can turn it over. But I want to stamp right through this circle for the hooray, it's your day. And actually, before we do that part, we're going to do the leaves because we can stamp right through this circle and we're covering that part up. Watch this. Okay. Where's my bone folder? I want this to sit nice and flat. I think it's in the other room. Okay. So we'll do these leaves. We have the double leaves here, and we want the Pretty Peacock ink pad. And we just want that to kind of overlap this hole like so. So can you see my circle here? I'm going to have the leaves here kind of go up. I'm going to press it real good so I get a good impression. And you can see it went through the hole, but again, we are covering that with the white piece, so it doesn't matter. But I have this leaf kind of sticking off here now. And I do want one more over here, like that. So we've got our leaves kind of, this is what's actually going to show. And that part on the inside will get covered up. Isn't that fun? All right, we also want to do the splatter, but we're going to stamp off first. So I'll stamp off on my scratch paper, which is off camera there. And we'll just kind of put that, it's going to be also covering that hole a little bit. So again, do this part before you do your inside. All right, so now we have kind of a splatter over there. I just think that's so pretty. All right, now we can add this piece on the inside like that and add "Hooray, it's your day." Just like that. And that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my card. I'm going to take that back up after I tacked it down just to make sure. And we'll just go ahead and add that to the inside. Using my liquid glue, I can scoot that around if that doesn't line up in the hole the right way that I wanted, but it looks good to me, so we'll just go ahead and go with it. All right, I need my liquid glue out. We're going to do the rest of these little pieces here. So first, we're going to do the sparkle paper. This is the shimmer, subtle shimmer, I think it's called. Beautiful. It has 5 different colors, and they're all this subtle shimmer. None of this glitter flakes off. It's just really nice to use. And you will be covering up a portion of this. The 1/2 inch is a little bit too wide for what we need, but I figured it was better than handling something that was real skinny. So we will be covering that up just like this a little bit. So I have the edge here, the edge of the card front showing, and then the sparkle paper, and I'm going to cover that up so that those two are about the same width, if that makes sense. Let me know in the comments what you think about this class. Are you looking forward to the new year? Are you ready for getting some birthday cards together? Who's the earliest birthday that you got to prepare for? All right, so there's our pretty piece. I don't have to pick it up because we're already real close, aren't we? Keep forgetting how close we are. All right, so here I'm going to use glue dots for these little guys because they have holes in them. And so it's going to be the easiest just to put a glue dot right at the base of that leaf. So I'll just add those real quick. I'm finding my glue dot, and I'm just adding the glue dot to right at the tip there where it's a little thicker. All right, so I'll add this one first. We want this kind of going towards these other leaves here. I want to have those show through. And then this one will go this way and kind of point down like this. We don't want to put any glue through the hole, so just watch where you're putting it. And we've got this one. I'll point this one. I don't want to cover my words. I'll do it like that. That looks good. And now the flower will go on dimensionals. Easy peasy. Oops. Where's my dimensionals? Here they are. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear my jingle bell earrings? I got festive today. All right, so here I'm going to kind of have this edge of the flower kind of poking in there, covering up our gap here, but not covering up our words. Right like that. And there is the front of this card. So that is the last one, but I want to add our sequins. We've got, let's see, we've got a couple. This one has kind of a spatter going up this way, so let's do that. I don't know. Sometimes if you don't push the sequins down real hard, you can move them around a little bit. All right, so I think that looks good. So again, we've got our sequins or no sequins. It doesn't matter. Everything is looking so fancy and fun. So there is our third and final card. Thank you so much for watching. We've got, I'll just go ahead and pull these back in here. We'll move the camera up just a little bit. Sorry, let me adjust this. One moment. Okay. All right, so there's card number 3, 2, and 1. Let me know what you think. And I'll bring my face back in here. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, I moved my light so that you could see that better. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you again after the New Year. Or maybe sooner. Who knows? I might pop back in. But thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe to my email and to my YouTube channel, and I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much. All right, bye.